Hello,
Hello.
and welcome back to AJT Productions.
We've been amazed by the reactions that we've got to our videos, and we've finally passed 100 subscribers. And so this
Woohoo!
is a special video to celebrate that landmark.
That's it. Special 100 subscriber video. Cheers to 100 subscribers that have subscribed.
Cheers. I've got tea. John's got wine.
We're a little bit late to the party, Tim.
We are,
The actual AJT channel is now on 130 subscribers.
which is mad.
Explosions. Crazy. So, yeah, what are we planning on doing for this special episode, Tim?
So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reacting to our first ever video that we made. And this was before we were even AJT Productions. This is Camping with the Boys, episode 1,
Wow,
which should be interesting.
it should indeed. And on that note, Tim, let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into the reaction. Here we are, AJT Productions, 129 subscribers right now, all the way to our very first video. Let's jump right in to Camping with the Boys.
Portrait filming.
It's full of it. That's it. We were only rookies then.
Yeah.
We had no idea of how these trips and our love of documenting them would progress.
Just to say, viewers, this video that you're watching right now was probably shot at about 5:30 in the morning.
You'd never know by the sky, but this was also during a drought and a heat wave, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And this was peak summer. Look how baby-faced we are. The hot air balloons were a real blessing that day, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Here we are.
Oh, this is funny.
Stop. Alex is making some OJ. Tim's back. Is sweaty.
The Virgin balloon is cruising.
Bit more than a bit sweaty, that.
A bit more, yeah. You think your bladder was leaking with the amount that's on your back.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I can't actually remember what he said.
Neither can I. I wonder if he does.
Well, back then we were using pictures as well as videos.
That's it. You can see, yeah, you just wanted to get a nice shot of me. But I weren't taking the movie seriously yet, so I had to add a bit of flair and pizzazz to it.
Here we
Yeah.
are. About to hike up a hill.
You look so thin.
This is where I hadn't
Oh, no.
base down last time.
A quick pause on this.
Did you?
We can go into
When did you
that.
put your top back on?
This movie, I got a lot of comments after this movie saying, oh, you kept pointing the camera at yourself. You kept like showing off your body and stuff like that. And I don't know if you remember, Tim, but this was just after the puppies, and I dropped
Yeah.
all the way down from 10 stone to 6.5 stone.
Yeah.
And what it was I was so unused to seeing myself that every time I'd have the camera on me, I'd be like, wow, what the hell? Look how bloody skinny I look.
Yeah.
Which you'll see that later on. But yeah, I got a lot of comments saying like, oh, you're showing off your body and all that. And I thought, it weren't even. It was like disbelief of what I was seeing.
Well, what's mad to think of is that back then you would have, well, if you were 6.5 stone, what's that? Just under 60 kilos or
Yeah,
something like that.
58-ish.
You were carrying basically half your body weight on top at that time.
I was thinking that today. As I was thinking about this video, I was thinking, oh yeah, I was like around 50, 60 kilo. When I went to the gym, I bench pressed 60 kilo.
Yeah.
So it was crazy, but yeah, that's why in this movie it's always been something that I thought. I never said it when people mentioned, but
Yeah.
I always thought I'm not trying to flash. I'm trying to get into my own mind. That's you, John,
Yeah. But it was like 40-degree heat, so
as well.
I think it's acceptable to have your tops off. I mean, both you and Alexander had their tops off that day. It was mad.
That's it. Tops off weather. Tops off.
Oh, looks like it on the camera.
Look how sweaty we are.
We're sweating. We're walking. We're fucking flying.
That's
Yeah.
one of my favourite quotes. That we're sweating, we're walking, we're fucking
That's
flying.
it. If our viewers have seen the most recent Trailblazers installment, Mourners and Marshlands, you might recognise one of those hike and pole pictures.
That's a nice photo. But looking back on it, you forget actually how much of it is photos and not filmography.
A lot of it's photos in this one. And most of the filmography, as we can see, was shot vertical as well.
Yeah.
All the photos we did landscape, but all of the videos were mostly vertical.
Here we see a wild Jonathan Fletcher in his natural environment. He goes to investigate these wild pairs of geese. He walks up,
A
curious.
brilliant David Attenborough impression there from Alexander.
But can I also just say, viewers, if you watch back that technique of walking down the hill, that's the best way to go down without hurting your knees. Just sort of slightly
That's
low, squatting down slightly, and then just creeping forward.
Always keeping them knees bent, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Say, how much of this one was actually just stills and images?
Mad, isn't it?
I do miss Alexander on them though.
Yeah, he needs to come back on them.
Sit rep. This hill is a twat.
And it was.
Timbo's plodding on. And we're all getting there.
Was that the hill where we got water from the house at the bottom before we hit it?
Getting there.
Yeah.
We were nice people then. We were all a bit nervous to ask, weren't we? But
Yeah.
we thought on a day like today, even the meanest people in the world would say yeah.
No.
Oh, this was a tough stretch.
Yeah. No more shade.
There was a couple of miles of no shade, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I believe it was like nude.
That's probably came from
It was like the sun was, you can see there's no shadow really left or right. It
Yeah.
was head on. One of my favourite parts is coming up.
It's fucking roasting. Over an hour. Hopefully in an hour. We should be in a pub.
Ooh,
Oh yes.
this bit.
You fools! Look at me in the shade.
I picked a slightly shady spot. And you two had to stand in the sun.
Just gonna say, like, how much of that we did on roads on that day. In fact, actually, the entire trip. And we look back at it now, and it's like, no wonder your legs were absolutely fucked coming down this hill.
If we just go back a little bit right there, this is the hill what done it. In fact, if you look at my face there, he doesn't look very happy. I think I think that's where definitely the hill what caused me the injury. And you know, Tim, that to this day, that knee when I move it up and down, it still clicks
Yeah,
to this day where that knee went.
it's horrible. That
It was most definitely this hill. It was a real killer. And you're right, we now roads are like hell to us, where then we didn't know what we were missing out on being on the
yeah,
roads.
yeah.
God.
Oh, this was when Alexander's friends was pissing him off, wasn't it? And he
I don't know,
became
Tim.
he became so inward and
Check out the throbber.
Oh, that-
Disgusting info cable then.
That was a bad blister.
that was bad.
Yeah, there's been many trips where that's happened with Alexander, I think. Or was this the time with the cleaning?
Yeah, it was because he was moving out of his old flat.
Yeah.
See them there, the little piggies. Well, they'll go to the market.
I think I wanted to scare him by dunking my phone in the water on this in a minute.
I think you did, but you never recorded it.
Oh, no, I swear I did.
You didn't record his reaction to you dipping the phone in the water.
Yeah. I think that's because my phone was underwater. I seen his reaction. He was like, "You just put your phone in the water."
Oh, yeah.
This was an amazing spot though, wasn't it? After that food and them beers,
Yeah,
to be able to come here and dip our feet in this.
it would have been nice to just camp there, but obviously it was in the town, so you couldn't. But,
And with it being peak summer, sun didn't go down to like 11.
yeah,
Yeah, here it is. I think there was little fish.
Yeah.
I recall, yeah, little fish swimming at his feet.
yeah. Next was Big Toe.
Oh,
Oh, this is what really annoys me about this camp. We never recorded any footage of the first night, but it was
You're
such a
right.
bad spot.
we can go into the spot now.
Yeah.
This is all we had. And then we're packed away. So Tim, let's fill in the viewers a little bit about that spot. What do you remember about that spot?
I just remember getting to a point of desperation in the evening because we just couldn't find anywhere in Llangollen which we could just set up. And obviously we were still novices at this point, so we weren't sort of privy to, stay away from towns. But it was the least ideal spot you can possibly think of. Along, it wasn't even a footpath really, it was just a small little wooded area that you can walk through for maybe 3 or 4 minutes
Yeah.
just to
With
get
a
off the road. Yeah.
About like 10 foot to the right of us. And so there was this little footpath here, a little road here, a little triangle area on a hill like this, and we were right in the middle of it.
Yeah. And the gradient was it was horrible gradient as well. It just like it wasn't anywhere near being flat, and the ground was all dusty and horrible, and it was so uncomfortable. And I don't know about you, but in my tent during the night, my mattress kept sliding down the hill inside the tent, so I kept on waking up at one end of the tent and having to crawl all the way back up the hill in my tent just to get comfortable again.
I think that's where I was fortunate with the coffin tent, because it was so small and it narrows to the bottom.
Yeah.
So I put my backpack at the bottom and I had my feet on that. So I think my feet being on the backpack allowed me to be a bit level. Or the backpack acted as a blocker to stop me sliding. But I definitely did experience some sliding. And what did you think? Do you remember what you were thinking after that being our first night wild camping in the middle of that spot?
I was thinking to myself, I wish I was in a campsite. To be
What
honest
have we
with you.
done? I remember thinking, oh, this hasn't started well.
No. But I mean, the day before was great, and obviously we had a lovely meal in Llangollen, and sitting next to the river and all that was really nice. So that wasn't bad at all. It was really good. it was just finding that place to stay the night just ended up being a nightmare, because I think we walked around the outskirts of Llangollen for about 2 hours trying to find a suitable spot that wasn't on someone's land as well.
Yeah, because the first spot we seen on the maps turned out to be right in the middle of someone's land with
Yeah.
bushes and fields that were just impassable.
Yeah.
And then we walked all the way around hoping that it weren't, and then we seen a big long entrance to their house and the forest smack bang behind it, and we thought, oh, that's probably not not an ideal place. And I think it was quite demotivating, that
Yeah.
walk, and then we just beeline the first place we see, and that was even slightly viable.
Yeah.
If you'd rate that spot on a 1 to 10,
So yeah, I'd rate that as a -4 out of 10. What would you rate it?
I think I'd rate that a solid -1 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think the 3 points up is the fact that we could even sleep there was takes it to that.
Why we even sleep? You mean you could sleep?
Yeah, so definitely a -1 for me for that camp.
Well, let's list the pros and cons.
Go on then.
Do the cons first, because there was a lot of them.
Cons were the walking path we were on there. There's a road about 10 foot to the left of us from that angle.
Yeah.
And the road was busy all night.
Yeah, people were walking up and down the road as well, and they could see us.
And we could hear them.
Well, actually, no. They could see me and Alexander because we had a bright fucking orange tent. But they couldn't see John.
Yeah. I think the space, even though the land there, it was covered in trees and rocks and roots. And so we had about a 4 square foot area for both of our tents and the 3 of us.
Yeah. That was not good. The dust as well.
The dust.
Because it's the same problem as if you're tenting on a beach, in that you just get sand inside the tent, but this was just dust.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also very nettly ground as well, wasn't it?
It was. Peak summer, you get tons of nettles, and because they're a weed, the one of the only plants that survive in a drought.
Yeah.
And then definitely probably the biggest con of all for yourself, the incline.
Yeah, the incline was horrendous. Really bad. The positive was the proximity to breakfast in the morning.
That's a good one.
We only had to walk a mile, not even a mile. I don't even think it was a mile.
That's a really good one. And I think the positive for me was that we could sleep there.
Yeah.
That it was a location we could actually pitch up in and get heads down in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's camp 1. -4, -1, and your pros and cons.
Nice. There you
go. First morning done. We're knackered, a little bit sore. How was the night's sleep?
I did not sleep at all.
Tell us what happened.
Well, my mattress and my pillow kept deflating all night. I had to blow it up about 3 or 4 times.
And we slept on a slope.
Yeah.
John, how'd you sleep?
Like that.
John, how'd you sleep?
I slept all right. I was up throughout the night. I had some curry noodles before bed. My mattress never deflated because I'm skinny as fuck. I had a nice cup of coffee.
I always feel bad retrospectively at that. I never realised at the time, but I said that just after you said my mattress kept deflating all night. And when I watched it recently with Sylvia, she's like, that sounds like you're calling Tim fat.
Well, I was compared to you at the time. But
I think it'll fit 3 of me and you then.
Yeah.
God. But yeah, that was so funny. I always watch that bit and think, oh, the worst timing.
We're just outside the shop where they just kill birds and fucking fill them up with fluff. It's like Build-A-Bear but with real life birds. Or turtles.
Vegetarians.
And there's peacocks in there, look, Sil.
That can't be a real fucking.
Sylvia
That's
was
a real
not happy
tail
with
with a
that
glass
little
eye.
message.
Oh, they Teddy.
That's some of my favourite moments. That your first reaction to ever seeing taxidermy. I just couldn't believe you didn't know what it was at the time.
I'd never actually seen it. I always thought it was something that they just did on movies or for like nights at the museum and things like that.
For me, it was just the sentence. It's like Build-A-Bear, but for real life birds.
Hilarious.
Fucking funny.
Ever since I've seen that shop, I keep saying to Sylvia, "Oh, we need to get the dog stuffed when she passes." I'd love her to be on all fours with her head up, and I could put a nice glass table on her back. Another thing that she's not completely on board with.
No, I can imagine not.
Where
Oh,
were
that
you?
was
Were
a
we
good
getting
breakfast.
breakfast?
Yeah,
I got a nice coffee here because I was out of coffee as well.
yeah, you did.
I remember he was an Italian guy and he was really happy that I got an espresso.
Yeah.
I think he gave me it for free. He was that happy. Look how much footage of this movie was images though.
It's probably 70%.
Sit rep. We've just been for a nice full English. I had a scone and a espresso as well, so I'm going to be flying. And the boys are bet. They've drank. We've refilled waters. Alexander. We're just about to
Standing
check
at the end
down
of
the
the
canal
fucking-
now for 1.8 miles, so nice and flat. We're happy.
You're just staring.
We're happy, aren't we?
Absolutely.
You're happy. He's fucking ecstatic. Are you happy, Alex?
Yep.
Both of them are basically jumping with joy. That canal path was a good bit of walk.
Yeah,
Just
that
a
was.
nice.
I was going to say that's probably the nicest stretch of walking that we actually did on the entire trip.
Yeah.
'Cause the rest of it was all roads.
Aye, and we found this cool loch
Yeah, I don't know what that was actually.
next to the house. That was definitely a plantation house back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember this walk.
horrible, wasn't it?
Oh, and we remember we checked the maps and we thought that there'd be a beach up ahead, but it was actually just a field that was dried out, yellow
Yeah.
grass. We were like, "There's a beach
In the middle of Wales.
in the middle of Wales."
There
in
it
the
is.
mountains." Oh goodness! If I remember right, I was just gonna say we found the little calf.
Yeah.
It was a lovely calf.
Got a nice view.
Here we are. We've got.
Alex,
Oh.
This brings back like PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah. I think once we get to the end of this, we're going to have to explain what's going on.
Most definitely. That was a big roll.
Update.
Where do you think we
Oh, let's watch
Okay.
this bit as well.
Left, right. We came down fucking that, mate. We came down this. Well, that's it. Up this.
All of that goes down really fucking far. All the way down to the town. The town's right over there.
Oh. So, what was happening there, Tim?
So we'd got to this town called Corwin, which we had earmarked that we were going to go and stay at anyway. And we'd seen this nice little reservoir on the map, and there was loads of wooded area, and we thought that was going to be a really good spot. And we followed the map to this pathway, and this was when we were using the paper maps, none of the phone stuff that you can use nowadays. And we looked and we followed this little map and this little pathway. We followed this little pathway around, and it just almost instantly turned vertical. And it turned from a pathway into basically a rock face. And it wasn't wrong. Like, there was no alternative route. And it turned out that it was a dried up waterfall that we were climbing. And we only
That's
know
right.
that because the second time we visited that place, it was a waterfall again.
As we mentioned earlier, this trip was during a drought. It was 2-3 weeks into a drought and a heat wave, and the map just had the road and a little left, and we were like, "That's the pathway up," because we seen a reservoir on top. That's where we wanted to camp for the
That was
water,
it. Yeah.
and so we thought, well, it just mustn't be updated on the map that we've got. It might like, they haven't fully drew that path.
Yeah.
And you're right, when it went vertical, I remember we had to like take our bag off. I had a saw with me, so I'd go ahead because a few times when we started going up, our bags were getting snagged on branches.
Yeah.
And so I said, right, this is too dangerous, too steep. I'll go up and chop some of these loose branches out of our way to clear the way. And I did that. That's when I accidentally cut my hands, looking like Doctor Strange.
Mm.
And then as well, do you remember the time when I was going up just ahead of us? I was like, right, let me clear some more branches. And then I stood on a big boulder, and it felt like it was the
It was
most
green.
terrifying noise I've ever heard.
Yeah.
A giant rock just rolling down, and I was like,
We
watch
were
out!
stuck.
You two were behind me, just waiting, and I just envisioned a whole landslide or just this boulder going down, and luckily it only fell like to the next sort of layer, but that could have been some really dangerous, dangerous activity
It
there.
it was dangerous, and I think it was a case of once you'd started, you had to keep going. It's not you couldn't go backwards. You couldn't climb back down because it was too. I mean, even though it was dried up, it was still slippy, wasn't it? There were still moments where it was precarious.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Because some of the rock faces were so steep on it that we had to go around them on like the dirtish path, but it was just covered in pine needles and
yeah,
moist ground, and it was just so slippy because it's a active waterfall. Normally, that ground was just bogged, and it
yeah,
was really, really hard to get up. But I couldn't believe the next time we went there, and the exit of the reservoir where the water comes out of the reservoir runs down
yeah,
directly down that
yeah.
waterfall that we'd climbed up. Just incredible. Something that I don't think we'll ever do again, and
No,
something that I don't think many people will have done ever, considering
not
it's not that often the UK's in drought like that.
no, and not in that location either. I think that's probably the first and last time anyone's ever gone up that waterfall.
Yeah, which is just an achievement. And I did find a hat, didn't I, in it? Remember I found that North Face hat?
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, I found. I'm not sure if it's even on the movie. I think it is, but I found a North Face hat and it had like a bit of scuff right on the rim. And I was like, oh, this is a find, and I wore that. We might see it later in this movie. I swear we see it at one point.
We'll have
Um,
to keep watching and because I've
yeah,
forgotten.
that was because we were so new to the movies. Nowadays, that'd be something that we make a bit of a feature of.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that waterfall was really something else.
You see this town? Right there is a little
I love
park that we stopped at.
how he emphasised
And
this.
all the way up here, we rock climbed. Can't tell you how
I
many
love
feet.
rock climbed.
Yeah.
Slippy rocks, moss. Thought we were
Moss.
going to die about 500,000 times.
Just show them the steepness.
But look.
It was insane.
Evidence of alien life
Yeah.
in the United Kingdom.
Pardon me.
I mean, humans are not intelligent.
Skeleton.
That's us reacting to the height of what we've just climbed.
But we were quite fortunate in this spot because that was a big 5G tower right next to us. And what's crazy is that but the river shot here, if we just go back a second, all of that grass in there, the second time we visited, that was all underwater.
Yeah.
So when we say the drought, why the waterfall was dry, that's why, is because the water usually covers all of that ground there, what you can see. That's how much the drought was.
Yeah.
That ruined the mood.
Just trying to help the drought.
That's it. Oh,
Oh, bloody hell, look at that.
probably the greatest discovery on any camp we've ever had.
Sort of, yeah.
There's an next fire here and it's perfect.
There's logs for sea. Right, bring the packs.
Right, bring the packs. We decided.
I think this
If-
finding
Prime
this
spot as
was
well.
the
I mean, when you envision people
I think it's the
around
thing
a
that made us
campfire,
want to come back.
It's that.
Yeah,
Do it again.
And look at that.
it was such a good spot next to the reservoir as well. It was so beautiful. And
Yeah.
to me, that scene there where me and Alexander walk up and scope that out, it feels like like the first episode of I'm a Celebrity when they all get to camp and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what it feels like, where they've got to tidy up the camp and that. And it every time I watch that, like every single time I get feelings of like when I was young, sitting around the telly with the family, all watching I'm a Celeb when it came out. That's genuinely what it feels like, just such potential.
Yeah.
I think I got Alexander's bag because he was taking too long and I wanted to get there. That was good tech as that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, everything was absolutely bone dry for this fire.
Quickly. Have you still got that flint?
No, that was off Barney. That I need to get a new one.
All right.
Oh, look how we tidied it up. That was just
Yeah.
great.
Fully set up. Say hi to the camera, boys. Tents are over there.
Tarpaulin them for protection from the rain.
From the rain, I said.
Very small fire that we're looking after very well, making sure it doesn't go too high.
I just want to say,
And
this is the first bit of vlogging that I did in the entire episode. So I wasn't even into it then either. And then also it might be good if you could tell the viewers about what was going on in the background of this this scene when I think either you or Alexander had shared a picture on Instagram or Facebook, and then we started getting phone calls from our parents telling us to put the fire out and stuff because it was so dry.
That's it. You are exactly right. I think Alexander maybe put it on Instagram or something.
Yeah.
And our parents were just not happy at all that we were having a fire after Jordan, the drought. They were very concerned. That's why Timothy emphasizes the point that we're keeping it very small and maintained, because we were getting messages and phone calls and all sorts. Put that, you better not be having a fire. Is it going to start a wildfire? Like sending us news articles of campers that have started wildfires and all this stuff. But if you actually look at the video, we were aware of that because we are smart campers, and
Even back then,
we've gone to a lot of effort to. If we look at the actual camp where we were, we've gone through a lot of effort to clear the ground of any debris, anything that could even catch. And then we gathered all rocks to enhance the fire pit. And it was very small. But yeah, we were getting phone calls, text messages, news articles, everything sent to us saying, put that bloody fire out. But were we going to, Tim? Not
No.
a chance in hell, honestly. Because
Absolutely not.
we've always said that the fire is the heart of the camp, you know.
Yeah. And
Um,
it's a very hotly debated topic, having fire as wild campers. Some people view it as not being in code with leave no trace, and others think that it is. It depends on how you do it. And obviously there are risks involved in it as well, but as long as you're smart and as long as you're careful, then nothing can go wrong. We're not stupid.
mhm.
We're not your average party camper or whatever that, so
Yeah, that is it. And when you say we're not stupid, we are explicitly talking about the two gentlemen on this phone call. Because this man right here in the left of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, in his efforts to make sure that this fire did not spread in the slightest, when we went to bed on this hot, humid, dry night, and the fire was all burnt out and just a few embers, just to make sure those embers never went anywhere, he decided to piss onto the fire. And we were all in our tent, and just the aroma of Alexander's piss just just populated the whole area. Both of us, all of us in our tents could just smell piss for the rest of the night. And oh my God, look at his face there. You can already see him planning on doing it. He's like, I'm gonna piss on this later. Yeah.
oh,
Um, oh, that was probably one of the highlights of this trip was when he done that. We both got so angry at him. We were like, there's a reservoir right there with water in, Alexander. And he
oh dear.
pisses on it. Oh, I couldn't believe it. His face right there is telling.
It is indeed.
But yeah, definitely. Like I agree. A lot of people are against having a fire if you're wild camping. But I think that if you watch some of our later movies and even our early ones, when we have our fires, we always keep them small. We never use wood that's big or a fire that's like big. You know what I mean? It's always small enough that if it even got out of control, we could jump on it. Except
Yeah,
for that one time when,
yeah.
when when we were at day 4 of the Lake District camp, the first
Oh yeah.
Trailblazer series, and we built our fire structure out of wood with moss on it, and then it just spontaneously combusted in between our two tents.
Well,
Timothy,
it was fun while it lasted.
I don't think the fire was meant to be on this side of the wall.
It's lighting up the camp.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking Timothy only.
Yeah. That was daft.
It seemed like a good idea at the start, and then
Yeah.
it just literally in 1 second just went woof. But we were able to control it still.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
important thing. We had control.
yeah, and we always, even when we've had a fire, we always leave it in a way where it looks natural. You wouldn't notice that there was a fire there, whether that's
Yeah.
covering it up once the embers are out, or using the rocks from the pit to lay it over it, or what. And I myself am in the stance that if you are camping and if you're in an area like this, as long as you're not chopping down trees and whatnot to make your fire, then have a fire, use some of that wood, because all it's doing is adding carbon back to the ground. It's just a circle of life. Things grow, they live, they die, they burn, they rot.
Yeah.
And that's that. But yeah, this fire was definitely needed, especially after our conditions on night 1.
Yeah. And it elevates the mood.
Definitely. Gives you something to just gather around and enjoy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alex was the fire warden.
We're going to start cooking some food.
That's why he pissed on it. You could have said that. I'm the fire warden. Don't question my methods. Oh, this was a great night, wasn't it? Do you remember
Yeah.
these pictures? Alexander got an app on his phone what gave like effects or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And we liked how it turned out, so we just done this little photo shoot. There's you summoning the devil. Here's me in me crackhead hair, blowing the fire. But you can see it's still small.
Yeah.
Smoke in my eyes, and Alexander comforting me. Oh, what a brilliant night.
That's a good photo.
That is a good photo. And this.
Right, well,
Lovely. On a scale of 1 to 10, Tim, how would you rate the Corwin camp?
so this one is it's a tricky one to rank because on a nostalgia basis, it's always going to be ranked highly. But there are pros and cons to it. I'd probably rate it about an 8.5 out of 10. And I'll give reasons for it as well. It's ranked so highly because of its setup and where it is. You know, you've got a fresh water source nearby. You've got plenty of space as well. You've got plenty of coverage. There was an amazing fire pit there as well. There's plenty of logs that you can sit on, and there's an endless supply of fuel basically for your fire. I think actually when we went and visited the second time, when we went with the dog, on camping with the boys five in the winter, we actually extended it outwards slightly as well. We extended the area that we could actually use because there was loads of brambles and stuff that we cleared. So there's plenty of big space. The downside is that the area isn't that flat. It's quite uneven terrain in places, and so pitching up your
in the
tent.
background.
Yeah, pitching up your tent it can be a bit difficult if you've got. I mean, well, we haven't been back there since we've got the 3-man tent. And I think we'd probably struggle to set that up. But with the 2-man tent and your 1-man tent, it was okay. And I think if I remember rightly, when we went with the dog, you had to not only lay a bed of bushes just to obviously make yourself warmer, but to fill in some holes, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
So
I did, yeah.
for me, that's what drops it down a level. And also, I think the the proximity to the town as well. I think if this camp spot was even more secluded, it would rank even higher because then you've got absolutely no chance of anybody disrupting. Because you did have dog walkers and
We
things like
did,
that.
yeah.
Didn't you?
We did, yeah.
But on a nostalgia basis, it's always going to be a 10 out of 10. Like first amazing camp, it's the one that got us. It's got the ball rolling. I mean, when we think back to it, we think back to this camp. We don't think back to the first one that we stayed overnight in the
Yeah,
you know, the first one in this video.
yeah, definitely. I think I'm sort of agree with you on that. I think nostalgia, if we're out in nostalgia, I'd say it's definitely a 10 out of 10 on nostalgia because one, it was our first one. It's the thing that started it all. Alexander's there. The I'm a celebrity thing I mentioned earlier, it just brings that whole thing back. So this camp even brings back nostalgia of me from childhood of like watching that show with all my family. It
Yeah,
was the very first one that did it all. But then on an actual rating of other camps we've had throughout these trips, for me, I reckon it's coming in at maybe for this trip specifically, I reckon it's coming in at like probably a 7 out of 10
yeah,
in comparison. I think when I think back to other camps such as like Trailblazers 1, even
mm,
night 1 of Trailblazers 1 was a brilliant camp right next to the river, tucked away. And
yeah.
then night 4 of Trailblazers 1, truly legendary.
You mean night 3?
Night 3, sorry, yeah. With
Yeah,
me and you, over that hill, big lake there. Probably that is a a peak camp. So in comparison to them, I'd say it drops down even to a 7 for me. For the points that you made earlier, this time around I weren't on any lumpy ground that I can remember.
No.
But the proximity to that little road by the reservoir, I remember we did get a couple of people walking through, and it had us quite on edge, thinking, oh, I hope like no one who maintains this land is gonna pop up and say, I'm sick of bloody campers here,
Yeah.
with it being our first ever trip, that was something that we were especially anxious of.
Yeah.
And
I was going to say Snake Forest as well. I would say ranks higher on an actual camp basis.
That's it. In comparison to all other camps, nostalgia, it's a solid 10. You can't beat it. But in actual camping terms, I think it's a 7 for me. Because, like you said, the ground was a little bit uneven, even though it wasn't something that sticks out to me from this trip. The just the area itself, it wasn't far enough into the wilderness. It was too close to the main, like a road to maintain the reservoir. It was right by the 5G tower. So I think all along while we were having fun, we were also a little bit anxious of every little noise we heard from outside the camp, thinking, is that a car coming for the tower? Is that a person walking a dog? And you're right, we did see a dog walker when we were there, if not two, if I recall.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think it's a 7 out of 10 for me. Pros on this one were it was already set up when we were there. There was already the remnants of a fire pit and logs for seats, and we just arrived, and with a bit of TLC, it was a campsite again.
Yeah.
Another pro would be our initials carved into that tree. We seen when we went back there with Loopy that they were still there, and it's just something that'll stick with us forever. Even if the tree heals over time, we'll keep that memory forever.
That's the best bit of cinematography in the whole film.
I just want to say about this, I need to take a moment. In this clip, this was Alexander's idea because, as me and Tim have said, we weren't initially into the whole filming of the trips. We enjoyed going on them. The filming and the movie aspect was originally Alexander's idea.
Yeah. So actually, we have him to thank for all of this.
We do. Thank you, Alexander. We owe you one. Although it pains us to say, as right now you're in the Caribbean.
Oh, hello everybody, and yeah, it's been a while since you've seen my face. I've been kind of busy. This career of mine has taken me away from the boys, away from the adventures and the walks and the camping adventures, but do not fret, I will be there one day. And you might even find some more recent videos coming soon from me on my adventures. As you can see right behind me, I've got a little wall display of the world map, and I'm mapping out all of the routes that we're taking from North America through Mexico, through Panama, and then through the Panama Canal to the other side. We're in Miami in a couple of days. We're currently in the Caribbean, and then after that we'll be going back through again to places like Hawaii, Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific. And I shall be off this ship in... I will be off this ship in March. So that will be when I'll probably be in my next video with the boys. But anywho, back to the matter of hand. We've hit 100 subscribers, which is awesome. Didn't think this would happen, honestly. I thought this whole experience of making videos was just going to be for memories and for family comedy and not really go anywhere, but it seems to be going someplace. I'm excited to see where this could go. Maybe, who knows, the boys could all do an adventure in a different country, in cars, boats, freaking anything. Anything is possible. But yeah, I'm I'm very thankful for all the fans who have subscribed. I guarantee half of them are family members, but nonetheless, it's still fun. And yeah, well, it's exciting. It's really exciting. John, Timothy, who else has been in the videos? Uncle Andrew, Jamie, Ted, some of the other videos I've forgotten. People have been in, special guests. Thank you for doing the projects with us. And I believe we've got some good ideas coming up soon. But you will see more of me. I will make sure to find a video or two whilst I'm traveling the world on my adventures. And yeah, back to you, boys.
Bastard.
Bastard. And I vividly remember this morning, Alexander was like, right, what I want to do is I want to set up the camera and I want to go to the reservoir and we're going to wash our faces, we're going to wash our hands, we're going to get a clip of us bathing in the morning. And we were like, yeah, all right. And I think me and you were like, well, we're just going to wash our hands. We're not going to go all in with the faces and that, Alex, you know. And he was like, oh, all right then. And so I think he was like, I'm just going to wash my hands as well. And then in this shot, we go there and we're doing it. And my hands, if you remember, they were bloody because I cut myself. They were like muddy. I think I burnt myself with some hot water that morning as well.
Yeah.
And so as I was washing my hands, I was like, oh, this is actually really nice, this. I am going to give my face a little swill. And so I take my watch off and swill my face. And you can see on this clip now that you and Alex are doing the hands and then you both stand up. And then I whip off the watch and do my face. And Alexander looks at me and he looks at you and he looks back. And I think he's thinking, that bastard washed his face. It gets me every time. And I just wanted to emphasize that so the viewers know. But that's where I'm like, oh, it's nice, this. He said, done. I whip off my watch. Look, Alexander's watching me. Looks at you. Oh, you don't see him look back at me, but I bet you he was thinking, this bastard. Oh, it gets me every time.
God.
If you go down in
The fact it's me and you as well.
if you go down
I think I was digging you in a hole or something.
for every bear that ever there was will gather.
I tell you what, Tim, hats off to you for being the first man to take the shit in the woods on the cow during the movie. And Alexander for trying so hard to get this. Look at you. You're shaking it out and everything. You're like, oh.
We didn't have bog roll or anything, I don't think.
Oh, that was brilliant.
We're heading back.
Oh, you can see the state of your knee in this.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, that's when it went. Today it went, didn't it? That day. Yeah.
On the eve of day one, the power through on day two showed
Look how skinny my legs are as well. That's why, though. It's definitely why I had too much weight on my back and my body weren't built for that.
Intense pain on this thing. So blame the lads.
Show your hand as well.
Oh yeah, and my hand has been fucking cut up by the tree, so
Look at it shaking.
boiling water this morning.
Cut and burnt. The same hand and the knee.
On the plus side, the boiling water would have cleaned the cuts really well, and I look like Doctor Strange. I could do with a doctor right now.
My knee was so bad. I could do with a doctor right now, I said. Do you remember how we got home?
Bus.
Yeah, it was.
And then we had a pint in the pub. and then
That was
walked
a
home
lovely
because
pint.
it was still painful for you to walk.
Yeah, I remember a pint in a Llangollen in a Oswestry pub,
That's it.
and the gents in there were all speaking to us, where have you been, lads, and all that. I love that bit. Oh, oh, there's Maya.
Oh, Maya.
Rest in peace, Maya. Forever in our hearts. And there
There
we
you
have
go.
it. Oh, what an emotional roller coaster that was.
That was enjoyable.
It was. I Yeah, I really actually remember the bus now, because I think there's a picture that I took of my leg, and because I dropped so much weight off myself, my leg
Mm,
looked like a bull's leg. And
yeah,
remember that on the bus, you could see
yeah,
everything on it. And I remember like saying to you, oh, I went in the gym for like 3 years straight. And I remember saying to this guy in the gym, oh, look, I've never had this muscle here before. And and because I was so skinny, you could see like the whole of that muscle that I spent years trying to get. But now that you say bus, I do remember actually that bus ride. It was lovely. And then the pint in Oswestry in one of the little local pubs on the high
yeah,
street, wasn't it?
yeah.
It was
It was
lovely,
the
that.
Oak Inn,
The
the
Oak
Oak
Inn.
Inn, and the locals were confused as to why we had massive backpacks. Which actually, to be fair, has happened every time we've walked into a pub
Hmm.
on every trip.
People
So
always like to ask questions, don't they? Where are you
yeah,
going? What are you doing? What are you thinking? He's out of your
I don't,
minds.
I don't mind those questions, but Gary definitely does mind.
Oh God.
Shout out to Gary.
Shout out, G-Man.
Yeah.
I don't mind when I'm in a pub sat down and relaxing, but when I'm up walking and that's when I really mind them. I'm thinking, come on. Because as we've said on the camps, it takes so much energy to stop and go again and stop.
Yeah,
So when you're on a route with a lot of people, as you were on Anglesey, and you're having to stop regularly and things like that, oh, it isn't half taxing on the energy levels.
yeah.
The one
Yeah.
time I didn't mind it was that one guy. What was the mountain? Was it
The one-legged,
Snowdonia?
yeah, the one-legged man.
The one-legged man who did he have a wooden foot or something? He said,
Yeah, he did, yeah. And he was
and
constantly he was ribbing you because you were a Scouser.
yeah, and I was ripping him for being Welsh.
Yeah,
Oh, it was good. I like that. If you stop and actually have something good to say and a good little fun chat with a bit of banter, it's
yeah,
always a lot better than just, oh, where are you going? What are you doing?
mm, yeah,
Or just the typical polite morning or afternoon. That does me
mm,
head in.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Good. Well, we hope you enjoyed that, viewers. It was a new experience for us,
it was,
and I guess we'll see you when we hit 200 subscribers.
which won't be very long, Tim. Won't be
Well,
very long indeed.
not at the rate we're going at the moment.
I know, yeah. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed, who likes, comments, watches our videos. It really means a lot to us. We love
Yeah,
watching the numbers go up and things like that. So just now, a little like, a little comment, or a subscribe, or a share to some people you know really goes a long way for us. It makes us really feel like, we're doing something here. And even if we weren't and we were at no subscribers, we do this to document our family times and to watch these
yeah,
videos in years to come and say, yeah, this is your dad, your uncle, and this to our kids one day, and just to have these
yeah,
memories of us being able to do this. This is why we started all this, but to see that other people are interested in them and really like them as well just means a
yeah,
lot to us and makes us want to do them even more and put a lot more effort in. As we've seen from that episode 1, we use a lot of photos, a lot of vertical shots. There's not much vlogging and movie. And if you compare
yeah.
that to the latest Trailblazer series, for instance, You know, the worlds apart. They
Yeah.
are worlds apart. So yeah, thank you for everyone for their supporting us. We
Indeed.
hope you enjoyed this video.
Yep. Tatty buys.
Tatty buys.